my own strategy this time around is that I am going to support a northerner in 2027.
Really?
Yes. And it must be, my condition to the northerners, it must be a northerner that the whole north will be willing to support.
Like an article.
If the whole north is willing to support an article, why not?
Or a Tambuwal.
If the whole north is willing to support, why not?
Or an Erufai.
Good. The person.
You saw it's coming.
Absolutely. What do you expect when the ruling party has become jittery? That the party that will take them out with their incompetence and corruption has just appeared in the hemisphere politically of Nigeria. We are used to all these shenanigans. Now, let me make it very clear. The Supreme Court is very clear that the issue of the leadership of a political party is the internal affairs of a political party that's not justiciable. There is no jurisdiction of the courts to interfere in the leadership of the ADC. And I had the opportunity of just going through the determinations. I'm sorry to say, low intelligence, low IQ. I couldn't see the provisions of the ADC that they enunciated. It was just in one, they were saying Article 9D. Article 9, if I can remember, talks about the rights and obligations of members. And in that particular place, they say the NWC has the power to waive the provisions of compliance to eligibility to contest election. And let me make it clear. You were interviewing Kachuku one time, and you told him, who is the chairman? He said, Mosu is, this and that. You asked him, if Mosu is not the chairman, who is the chairman? He said, nobody. Now, let me say, can there be any party where there is vacuum without leadership? So who is the chairman that is questioning the authority of Mosu? Because you have to have local standing before you even talk. And who is interested in being the chairman? Nobody. No alternate chairman. We did our due diligence. Every court case before we accepted ADC has been reconciled through ADR. That's why you're seeing fresh cases. No other case.
But look at what
the hand of
some
Esau
of the
and the voice of Jacob.
Some of the determination.
The hand of Adeyemi and the voice of APC.
Really? You think they are members of the APC?
I said the hands of one Adeyemi and the voice
because
of APC.
The locus is going to be established. Whether or not, if you are not a member of the party, whether or not you can challenge whatever is the ongoing in the party.
That's what I'm saying. They are talking about leadership. Are they part of the leaders?
But as a member of the party, can they challenge the issues in the party?
As in what locus do you have to challenge the leadership? Now, let me tell you what happened. I was present at the inauguration, and I witnessed that the whole NWC, the whole executive of the party, resigned on their own, voluntarily. Do you cry more than the bereaved?
So one of the determination here, on the number 3, it says, what are the key individuals involved in the merger, like the 4th, 5th, and the 6th, talking about Adegbeshola, David Mark, and Bolaji Abdullahi, were properly registered members of the 4th defendant, which is the ADC, to qualify for leadership position. So you said the question, can you build something on nothing? Can you be a leader in a party that you don't have a membership of?
And I am asking you, those people purporting themselves to be the claimants, are they the people responsible to keep the register of the party? So how do they know? What is their business? That's what I'm saying. On what locus? The executives are telling you that these are their members. And they resigned. And they told you these are the interim leadership. And you, that is not privy to the register of the party, you're coming to talk what?
Are you privy to the constitution of the ADC?
Are they executives?
No, are you privy to the constitution of the ADC?
This is it.
All right.
And they gave it to me.
Is there any place that makes provision for interim leadership of the party?
Now, let me ask you. Assuming, without considering, that there's a natural mishap, I'm not even going to the constitution, that consumed all the leadership of the party. What do? You throw away the party. I'm asking. Because all of them resign. So what do? Why do they use the word interim? Why do you use the word acting?
On what grounds also, when people say they are still members of their party, members of Labour, members of PDP, members of APC, but they are coming into the ADC and they say they remain members of those parties until further notice.
Those people are not part of the defendants. I have seen the resignation letter.
So you're saying all of this gives you no concern. The membership is solid, and you are moving forward.
Yes. And
you're not deterred by this.
So, again, what I want to tell you is there is no express provision in any constitution that when somebody wants to resign, he must put it in writing. So you can resign by conduct, orally, or in writing. There's no place in the constitution.
So
if I become a member of another political party, automatically I've resigned from the other one.
When you heard about Mr. Abure's group in the Labour Party threatening Mr. Peter Obi, what did you think?
What I think is that what you have just asked me is the internal affairs of Labour Party. I'm no longer a member of Labour Party, and let them sort out their own.
But you and Mr. Peter Obi are a member of ADC now.
Well, Peter Obi said he's still in Labour Party. So until he comes into ADC officially and formally, then I'll be able to take your question.
The APC and the government of the day, he said that whatever is the constitution of the people in ADC is of no consequence. They are wasted and of inconsequence. The people and the movement called the ADC or the coalition.
Yeah, who said that?
The government has said so.
You still believe this government? The government also told you that they are going to give you 12% increase in GDP. Have they been able to exceed 3%? This government said they are for the welfare of Nigerians. You know, I told my people, I want to travel to Enugu State to establish ADC, and I may want to stay 2 days there. And they told me I have to set aside about 800,000 naira. Because the flight, one-way ticket, is about 250,000 naira. So when you go and come back, stay in a hotel for 2 days.
Have you tried
and do other things?
Have you tried
Enugu Air? Beautiful. You know, I congratulate my governor for the inception of Enugu Air. I had made my booking before then. I will soon try Enugu Air. And I enjoin every Nigerian to come to Enugu Air, the state of peace.
You will pay for that advertisement. but the big question here is, how do you know Bola Tinubu very well.
Yes.
You know the APC as presently constituted. How do you want to defeat that tendency in our political climate at the moment in 2027?
Now, it is a very easy thing if people would yield to strategy and not sentiment. Give Bola Tinubu his own style, his own strategy, and he's back to Bodilon. What did Bola Tinubu do in 2015? He went to the north, picked a man that he knows that all the northerners are in support. As at that time, Bola Tinubu wanted to be president because he said it's his lifetime ambition. But he knew that if he, as a southerner, tries to take out an incumbent southerner, he will fail because nobody has succeeded from the same section of the president, incumbent, to take out an incumbent president. He went to the north and brought a man that he knew that all the northerners are supporting. And when he brought him, any combination from the south took out Jonathan. And he bided his own time. And he came in later to become the president. That is strategy. If my own strategy this time around is that I am going to support a northerner in 2027.
Really?
Yes. And it must be, my condition to the northerners, it must be a northerner that the whole north will be willing to support.
Like an Atiku.
If the whole north is willing to support an Atiku, why not?
Or a Tambuwal.
If the whole north is willing to support, why not?
Or an Erufai.
Good. The person must be qualified, must have experience, and if he has experience in the presidency, it's an added advantage. And when we put up anything from the south, that will push him through. Let me tell you.
But would that be fair? Would that be fair that there was an 8 years of Buhari, a 4 years, if the case is the way you have put it, of Bola Tinubu, and then now the South has not had a share of 8 years in a rotation understanding of Nigeria, politically speaking? Would that be a fair game?
Good. Thank you for this question. And let me use this opportunity to clarify. The term of the president is 4 years, not 8 years. According to Alex Ekweme, what they agreed initially is that this post will be rotated amongst the geopolitical zones for 4-year term. And it will, in 24 years, it will have completed. But when Obasanjo came in, that was why Ekweme contested for 2003 election. That was when he said it. When Obasanjo came in, he took 8 years. But what happened? When Yar'Adua came in, before he finished one term, he died in office. Did they not insist that he must finish his 8 years? The answer is no. You know why? It is one term for the president And the 8 years is for the incumbent. If the incumbent is doing well, if there is a supervening event that stops an incumbent halfway, the other half is there for every Nigerian to contest. And if it goes to the other side will now spend 4 years. That was what happened between Yaradua and Goodluck Jonathan. Yaradua spent 4 years. Just take it 4 years. Of course, you know he died before the 3rd year. And then it was a supervening event that did not allow the incumbent to finish the 8 years. What happened? Goodluck Jonathan came. The North said, please, let us finish our 8 years. They said, no, it's a joint ticket. Something has happened. And this is the vice president. Treat it as a joint ticket. Let them divide the position now into half. 4 years for the North, 4 years to the South. And after, it will come back to the North to finish its 8 years. And that was what happened. Even when Jonathan wanted to now continue to do 8 years, the North said no. That will now be injustice. And they fought, and they took it back to the North. And the North finished 8 years. Now it is back to the South. And Tinubu has become incurably bad. And now you want to terminate his incumbency. Anybody telling you that it's injustice, if the North comes in, if the South comes in, and whoever wins in a primary election will take it for 4 years. Where is the injustice? It has happened before. So, and anybody telling you to bring a fresh Southerner to compete against Tinubu, a Southerner, is trying to tell you to zone the ticket to Tinubu, and Tinubu will win outrightly. So
you are saying that invariably that Tinubu's possibility of becoming or being re-elected in 2027 is incumbent on the opposition fielding the same candidate from the same zone. But that if the opposition wants to beat Tinubu and the APC, the candidate must come from the opposite zone.
Absolutely. And I'll give you the reason. In 2019, the opposition wanted to use Atiku with Obi to beat an incumbent Northerner who had just done 4 years. Did they succeed? No, they failed. And what happened? Tinubu, strategically, in 2015, he used a Northerner to remove an incumbent Southerner. Did he succeed? Yes. Because that is
he conceding to the fact that the North has a more political weight in the power game?
No. Let's look at it this way. Somebody from your zone, if you listen to Olufalaye said his election was rigged. But immediately the people rigged him out. They prevailed on him that he is a fellow Yoruba person that he contested with. Why not let him leave it? We have not had a good electoral system. This election is going to be written, like I've always told you, in 2027. They have already prepared it. Have they done electoral? Yes, have they done
Do you have evidence to that?
No, I told you 2023, there was technical glitch. And they have not given us the excuse till today. Technical glitch, by my own definition, is the process of suspending an election so that you can write it instead of transmitting it. And there is no assurance that you do not have in 2027.
If you say that if
they write the 2027 and is a fellow Southerner that you're competing with, they will prevail on you. Please, leave him. He's your fellow Southerner. And then, that is how they will steal the election. So if you bring somebody from the Southeast, even if you win, they will steal it from him. Let me tell you the strategy that will make the Southeast man to be president. Do you know the Southwest has never contested election against an incumbent? Strategy. Because they know in Nigeria, if you don't have the establishment supporting you, even if you win, they will steal it from you. Olufalaye said it was stolen from him. If you ask me, I will say we won the election in 2023. It was stolen from us. Because we didn't have...
Peter Obi won the election.
That's my belief. In 2023, I believe it. But they stole it from us.
Let me ask
you. And if you do it again, they will steal it again from you. Because there is no incumbent to back you. But if you bring somebody from the North, nobody will prevail on him to leave his victory.
Quickly.
Because, yes, because he's not from the same side with you.
Yeah, quickly. How do you then tell Nigerians that the ruling party has said, these people are spent. They've been in power. What new thing do they want to bring? How do they defend the failures of the past government, which they were part of? Some past governors, past ministers. How do you defend that the failures of this country in the past, you are coming and you say you want to redeem it? Would Nigerians believe the coalition and some of the elements in it?
Okay, let me give you an example. The worst of PDP now has become better than the best of APC. Assuming you talk about an article, if he can take us to Obasanjo days, are we not going to celebrate? Assuming. Because the performance of APC has beatified. PDP has beatified. Whoever served, for instance, in Obasanjo's government, they paid off all our debts. You remember? And we were not owing. APC has borrowed Nigeria into about 100 177 trillion naira in debt without nothing to show for it. We are enjoying darkness, not light. I've told you now, people cannot fly to go and come back. I've told you how flood took away 500 persons in Niger State. The president has not gone to commiserate with them. I've told you how 500 persons were roasted by terrorists in Benue State. Now, if you get a president, assuming who was with Obasanjo, there was no security problem then. We were moving in the right direction. No debt, our economy became the largest in Africa. Assuming, wouldn't you be happy? Right. So when they say the same old people, please, APC should stop lying.
All right. Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thank you.